Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia. If you're new here, I have 6 children, okay? And 5 girls, 1 boy, okay? So therefore, I have experience on girl symptoms and boy symptoms. So that's basically what I'm going to talk to you about. So I'm going to talk to you about how was it my pregnancy symptoms with a boy versus a girl. Okay, now I wrote some stuff in my phone, and basically I'm going to go through, my symptoms when I was pregnant with a boy, and then I'm going to go through symptoms, basically what symptoms I had with both pregnancies. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so when I did have nausea, and in some of my pregnancies of my girls, I did have nausea and vomiting. Okay, but with my boy, I had like mild nausea. I remember like 1 week I think it was my 8-week pregnancy. That's when my nausea got real bad. But after that, baby, I was good. I was good. But with my girls, I had nausea basically throughout the pregnancy, off and on. Okay. What else? With both of my girls and my boy pregnancy, I had real bad sciatica. That's happening like mid pregnancy. That's just a thing that when I get pregnant, that's what I get. It's sciatica. But my sciatica, it didn't happen until like later when I had my 3rd child. That's when I started, developing sciatica. And sciatica is basically a nerve. It travels from up to your butt, and then it goes all the way travels down to your leg, and it can happen on one side or the other side, left or right, or both. And I pretty much had it through both of my pregnancies. So I'm going to tell you some of the symptoms I had with the boy. Okay, so the first symptoms I noticed towards the end of my pregnancy, I said, my nails has been real good. Like, my nails was like glossing. Like, usually my nails naturally is long, but they break. They real brittle and they break. But with my boy pregnant, when I was pregnant with my boy, they was long, and they was not breaking at all. They was long and firm. Okay, and I remember telling my husband, I'm like, "Hey, honey, you see my nails? My nails is real long," and I say, "And they strong too." So I wish I would have kept that symptoms when I gave birth, but unfortunately, it's back to normal. So another thing is I had insomnia. So my girl's pregnancy, like, I can sleep throughout the day, throughout the night. Like, I had no problems going to sleep. But with my boy, I had real bad insomnia. Like, it was times where I could not, like, I had to turn on the TV in the middle of the night to sit and watch TV because I just couldn't sleep. And I remember my husband had to literally go to the other room. Like, he had to sleep in the back room. And because I was just like, "Honey, I'm gonna have the TV on tonight. I'm gonna have this light on. I'm gonna be doing stuff." And sometimes I just couldn't get comfortable. Like, and yeah, I just couldn't sleep. But with my girls, I was sleeping like crazy throughout the day. And so Oh, this is a big one. With my so with my girls, I used to drink water all the time. All the time. Like, you could not see me not drinking no water. With my boy, I could not drink no water. Like, when I drank water, I thought it was like the water at first. When I first, because this was new to me. So I thought it was just like the water. But when I taste the water, it tastes like old pennies. Like, it was like a aftertaste. Like, it was like water, like mud water. It was gross, y'all. It was so gross. And I just like couldn't figure out. I was like, why I cannot drink this water? And so my husband actually was like, you know, let me put a little lemon in it or whatever. And so he put a little lemon in it. And when I tell y'all, I drunk that water. That made a big difference. And so from then and now, I can't remember when that symptom had started with my boy, but it had to be like maybe when I was like in the first trimester, but towards the end. I'm gonna say that. And but when that happened, that's all I wanted. Lemon water. Either lemon water, and it has to be a certain, like, it had to be like, you know how you pregnant, has to be a certain type of lemon. Like, if it's too much or too little, I wouldn't drink it. Like, it was that bad. And so it had to be a certain type, or I drink the lemon water or the carbonated water. So, and I never knew that existed until I was pregnant. So that was fun. Also, drinking the no water, it did linger on until about my baby boy is 11 months. I'm just now able to drink water straight. So look for that. If anybody's had that symptom before, because I've never heard of that before or had anybody know that you couldn't drink water. But yeah. And then another thing, I remember the first symptom that I had when I got pregnant. I used to, like, I like candy. Like, throughout my pregnancies with my girls, I used to pop candy. I love candy. But with my boy, I was craving candy, but every time I would eat it, like, I have this just excruciating tooth pain. And I couldn't figure out why. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I might need to go to the doctor because this ain't normal for me. Or whatever. And so, I figured out it was the only time when I would eat sweet stuff. Because I was taking these prenatal gummies, halal prenatal gummies. I forgot the name of the company, but they sell like halal things, medicines and stuff. And so whenever I would eat sweet stuff, that's the only time I would have like this tooth pain. Like, it was like throbbing tooth pain. So yeah, and that went on for a while too. With my girls, like I said, it didn't matter what I ate. Anything sweet, they could get it. Okay, and then another one is through, you know how towards the end of the pregnancy they want to see where the baby is positioned and making sure the baby is ready to it's basically face down and ready to meet the world. And so I remember in my 34th appointment, baby boy was not facing down. Like, he was not facing down, which I know is a little bit too early, but he was, so I wasn't concerned at that moment. But then 36 were around, he was sideways. They was like, yeah, your baby is basically sideways. And I'm like, really? Then that's when they start talking about a C-section. Well, you know, if the baby don't turn, blah, blah, you know, we can try to turn a baby, or we can, you know, we have to prep for a C-section. And so I remember researching C-section because all my baby was very vaginally, well, natural. Because I did have an epidural, so it wasn't natural. But I gave birth with all my babies vaginal. So I knew nothing about C-section. So I was like researching C-section, C-section, C-section. And so, and then on my 38 appointment, still wasn't head down. He was transverse. So he was like, his head was down like this way, but he was like, his head was this way and then his feet was this way. So he wasn't like fully engaged. I gave birth on my 38 week of pregnancy. That's when I gave birth. But I remember going into labor and he was not head down. But then, like, it was funny. I think that's how God works, because, like, literally when they took me up, my doctor came and she was like, no, his head is down. And I'm like, really? That was quick. And so, yeah, and so they was like, well, you want me to bust your water? That way, you know, we can make sure he is like face down. I mean, yeah, a head down. And I'm like, no, I need my epidural first. And so once they got the epidural, she did break the water, and he was still head down. So alhamdulillah for that. But whenever it was time to push, I was pushing and pushing. He was not coming out. And so the doctor came in there again and basically was like, if he ain't coming out right now, then we're gonna have to do a C-section. I go C-section again. So I'm like, I'm already prepared. I done watched a whole lot of videos and all that stuff. But on that last push, baby, I pushed with all my might and he popped out. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Because I know them C-section mamas, y'all some strong mamas. I don't know how y'all do that. It's a lot of recovery. But I was blessed that he had came out and it was no complications. So alhamdulillah for that. The next symptom is glowing. So basically a glow is like you just feel like you're on top of the world. Like you pretty, you like your skin is very light and comes out. I remember my husband was like, you know, he used to compliment on me a lot throughout my boy pregnancy. So that's why I put glow down there. Yeah, so those are all the symptoms, the main symptoms I can compare to the boy and the girl. If y'all have any symptoms that y'all experience, if you had a boy and a girl, y'all can drop it down low in the comments. And yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment below. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.